Adding a job stroke quote onto the Don't Travel Empty Coach Rebels module. In order to add a job or a quote, then you need to go to Manage at the top of the page, hover over it, and then choose the first option from the drop-down tab, Add a New Job. Click on that and a page opens up and you're ready to start entering some information. You decide at the very end when you confirm and save the job whether or not you're saving it as a quote or whether you're saving it as a confirmed job. Now, the very first piece of information the system needs is the customer, and if you start typing the letters of the customer who wants to book the trip with you or wants the price for the quote, then you'll see that the details appear from a drop-down box. You find the customer that is relevant, you click on it, and the system auto-populates with their information. You then need to decide whether or not it's a private hire or a contract repeated job. So for the purposes of this demonstration, we will click on the private hire. And then you need to choose the vehicle type. Now remember that it's only the vehicle type that the customer wants to book with you at the moment. You don't know which physical vehicle will be doing the job. So you choose the type of vehicle, and you can see that this particular customer has just requested a 29-seater standard vehicle. The trip information, customer and passenger numbers are crucial. So in here, if you don't know the passenger numbers, simply type in the number of seats on the vehicle. And then the pickup and the drop-off points, the more information you put in with regards to location and the street and the postcode, etc., the more information will appear on all of your paperwork, the confirmation letter, the driver's ticket and the invoice. But just for the purposes of this demonstration, we will very simply type in the name of the city that we are going from, which is Norwich, and then we choose Norwich, Norfolk, and then we will be going to London for the day. So we start typing London and we choose London, Greater London from the drop down bar. As you can see, we have a progress bar at the top that is moving along nicely as we progress through the job entry fields. The comments box is for adding vias. So if it's going from Norwich to London via Attleborough and Thetford, you can type that in here now. That lets the customer know that you've taken the information down correctly. It lets the driver know that there will be additional pickups en route. You could type in there, must stop at Birchhanger for tea on the way down. And then again, customer and driver both know exactly what's happening. Then you come down to the timings, and in order to choose the date that the trip will be taking part on, you click on the word date and the calendar will appear. To move the calendar, you very simply click right or left, and as you can see, we're moving through the calendar. And then when you're happy and you can see the date that the trip will be taking place on or the quote is for, you very simply click it and choose it. Next, you need to hover over the window with the 12 o'clock time in it, and when you click on it, another 12 o'clock window appears and you're given the option of moving down or up or down, and we will be leaving at 9 o'clock in the morning, so we've chosen 9 o'clock. Now here, if you just move away from that window and click in an open space, you will see that we're given an estimated arrival time of 11:35 and a total distance of 190 kilometres. If you think that's a reasonable estimate of an arrival time, then you can click in it and it will auto-populate these two fields here. If you think it's unrealistic due to stopping maybe at Birchhanger or traffic conditions for a Monday morning, then you can override it and manually enter the information in here as we did with the leaving time. But we will click on it and you can see that it's now been auto-populated. If it was a one-way trip, i.e. just going to London to drop off, you'd tick that box now and the returning leg of the journey is hidden. But remember, this is a wait and return trip, so we will be adding the returning details. Now, they're coming back on the same day, so the leaving date, we click on the date, the calendar opens up, we move twice to the right for January, we choose January the 1st, and then we click on the time. We need to be leaving at 1900, so we click up through the times until we get to 1900, and then we move away from there, click, and we are given an estimated arrival time back in Norwich of 21:35, which again we think is reasonable. On the paperwork, the times arriving back are written down as being an estimated time, not a confirmed time. Now at this point, you're able to choose whether or not the driver will have any hours when he's in London, and you'll know whether the passenger perhaps wants a little shuttle when they're in London, and you can make an informed decision as to whether or not the vehicle will be available to Don't Travel Empty and its members while it's sitting in London on the 1st of January, or not available to Don't Travel Empty. So we will click available to Don't Travel Empty. We then type in here the price of the trip, and as mentioned earlier on before, this is the point that you choose to save it as a quote or save it as a confirmed job. We will save it as a confirmed job. If it had been saved as a quote, then at a later date, when the customer phones back, perhaps wanting to book the vehicle, we can find the quote via searching that particular customer, searching the date of the trip, searching the destination of the trip. And once we've found the quote, then we're very simply able to click on the confirm job button, and it converts it from a quote into a job instantaneously. Now we're on the private hire confirm page now, and as we scroll down, we will find at the bottom the most recently entered job, but furthest away in terms of date. We're going from Norwich to London. From here, if we hover over download, we could produce a confirmation PDF with your headed paper, logo, address, etc., a driver's ticket with all the information on it, and an invoice, or we could email the confirmation letter and the invoice. Currently, we can't email the driver's ticket because it's a confirmed job, but a driver hasn't actually physically been allocated to the job yet, so the system clearly doesn't know which driver is going to be emailed the driver's ticket. Now, if we click on the magnifying glass, then we will have the actual job open up, and we will be able to see the customer details. And then as we scroll down, we can see the vehicle type. And then as we scroll down further, this is where Don't Travel Empty gets its name from. You can see that we have created the empty leg from the operator's base to the pickup point, which is public on Don't Travel Empty, ready for matching. We have created the full leg from Norwich down to London, which is private on Don't Travel Empty, and only by choosing to click on it can you make it public, and other operators can now see it, other members can see it, and if we click it and it will turn private again, it's now hidden from all other operators. The available vehicle has been created automatically on your behalf in the system. And you can see that we allow half an hour between arriving before making the vehicle available, and half an hour between departing and the vehicle not being available anymore, in order to give the driver time to have a break or to get back in position, etc. And then we've created the full leg from London back to Norwich, again private unless you choose otherwise, and then the empty leg going from Norwich back to the operator's base is live and public.